Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Everyday Differences, the show that's meant to show you that differences aren't bad and that you can live your life a lot better by embracing your differences. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 6 of Everyday Differences. I am your host, Justin Bachman, and with me this week is my good friend, David Coleman.
Hey, Justin.
David, thank you so much for coming on to the show. I really appreciate it. I know you have an extremely busy schedule, and it means a lot that you're here.
It means a lot to me that you asked, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Now, the people at home may not know exactly who you are, so Could you please tell me a little bit of who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name's David Coleman. I'm known around the world as the dating doctor. I talk about dating, relationships, romance, sex, marriage, and divorce, primarily on college campuses, but corporations, churches, large conferences. I entertain our troops all over America. And I also do leadership programs. I do corporate programs on positivity and productivity and team building types of events. I live a very wonderful life, and I also do one-on-one coaching for people with relationship issues, and I do one-on-one coaching to help people become better public speakers.
How did you get started as the dating doctor?
I would go out just casually or socially. I would meet people effortlessly, but my friends couldn't. So they realized if they went with me, they would meet more people, and then they would start to go, wait a minute, we're going to go dance, we're going to do this. They would come back and go, it's not really working very well. What can I do? I'd give them suggestions, or hey, this worked, but can I try this? I'd say, try this. And they would come back and say, hey, it worked. And so over time, people started to realize that if they wanted a better social life, or they wanted to learn to be more charismatic, more attractive to other people, if they hung with me, worked with me, and we talked a little bit, they would be better at it. And I took a job at a college, and one of the first things I did was I went to a conference, and I did a little program called Creative Dating. It was about how to ask somebody out, what to do on a first date to get a second date, how to be socially acceptable. There were 80 people in the room. When I was done, 40 of them dropped business cards and said, hey, if you come to our campus, we'll pay you. And that was 3,500 shows ago.
Wow. That's
crazy.
A lot.
It's just a miracle.
Definitely done a lot over the past couple of years. You have not said this yet, but you are 14-time Speaker of the Year, and that is simply amazing.
It's an honor. It's an honor to win it once. To win it 14 times is crazy, and I'm even more proud of. I'm the only speaker that ever won Entertainer of the Year. It's usually people like Ellen DeGeneres, Chris Rock, Jon Stewart have won that award. So to win that award's crazy as a speaker. It's just unheard of. So it's an honor.
What would you say is the most important baseline thing to keep a relationship, I guess, effective?
There's 5 characteristics that every relationship, no matter, I don't care who it is, I don't care if it's personal, business, I believe there's 5 characteristics every healthy relationship has to have, and then you have to know who's in control. I'll answer the first one. It's the word TRIPC. It stands for trust, respect, intimacy, passion, and commitment. If we're going to have a great working relationship, if you and I are going to be friends, I think we have to have trust, which is the confidence to believe that what we say to each other is true. Respect is mutual, it's equal, it's earned. The I stands for intimacy. This isn't 100 people down here. This is an intimate conversation between the two of us. The P stands for passion. We're passionate about what we do. We're passionate about getting better. We're passionate about making each other better, helping people. And the C stands for commitment. It's an unwavering, unconditional commitment. So we have to trust, respect. There's intimate time. There's passion. There's commitment.
Where can people learn more about what you do?
A couple different ways. Thank goodness I'm in the 3/4 phase of a new website, but my website is www.datingdoctor.com, the word dating, the word doctor.com. On Facebook, there's David Coleman, my normal page, and if people search on Facebook and they put in The Dating Doctor with no spaces, it'll go right to my profile. And on Twitter, it's a fun little name that I've used, but it's D8, D, the number 8, NG Doctor, for a funny way of saying dating doctor. Those are the 3 primary ways.
And one last thing, one of my favorite parts of your speech is, it's a small phrase, but it's very, very powerful, and I would like you to explain it to the audience.
Sure.
The phrase is, I would so date you.
I make my audience, the slide that goes right before I talk about that, and the point that I make is, you will not find the right person until you become the right person. That's something else we could have somebody look at and go, am I the right person? You're not going to find someone right till you're right. And then you have to say, yeah, wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, comb your hair, look in the mirror and go, I would so date me. I would so date me. Why? Because if you don't believe in yourself, if you wouldn't date you, how can you expect anybody else to want to date you? It's called a self-fulfilling prophecy. There's a number of people watching this that will wake up and say, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not funny enough. I'm not enough. Every moment you're saying that Is it going to be easier or harder for that person, Justin, to meet someone new or special that day? Harder. They faced an obstacle meeting someone, now they doubt themselves, they've doubled how hard it's going to be. So if I can help people minimize that, which is what I try to do with that statement, I do it every day.
Very important thing. I am going to challenge everyone watching this. Tomorrow morning when you wake up after you do your morning routine, look in the mirror, stare yourself in the eyes and say, I would so date me, and make sure you stress that so. Well, David, you may or may not know what this is.
I'm a little worried, but it's really cute.
I'm aware. It is my favorite thing in the universe. This is the question microphone. It signals the beginning of question round.
Got it.
We drop all serious notes, anything that's really keeping us to our professionalism. And we just throw that all out the window.
Done.
I'm going to ask you some silly questions.
Do you hold it or do I?
I will hold it.
Okay.
I will help you out with that.
Can I at least touch it?
Go.
It makes
It's inflatable.
Beautiful.
It does. It does squeak. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to ask you some silly questions, and you're going to give me the best possible answers.
I'm in. Is it just the answer I believe in, or am I trying to give you a funny answer?
Go with what you feel.
Okay, I'm in.
All right. So, David, what is one unique skill that you have that you aren't necessarily proud of?
Okay, I'm not necessarily proud of. I can play songs on my head by using my knuckles.
That is absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. That was Jingle Bells, by the way, for those of you that couldn't pick up that rendition.
Finish this sentence as well. One thing that I cannot live without is...
My children and my pets.
Now, if you had a robot as a personal assistant, what is the first thing that you would have it do?
I would teach it how to make all of my favorite foods, number 1. Learn how to answer every email I get, number 2. And keep stalkers away from me, number 3.
Final question. Where will you be on March 9th?
I will be at the Tolerance Fair in Cleveland watching you bask in the glory of helping people who didn't know the help was out there for them and go home and go, I don't ever have to be bullied. I don't ever have to live like that again. I can find the help I need.
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear that? Tolerance Fair, March 9th, 2014, 1 to 5 at the Cleveland Convention Center. I will see you there. Every week in the comments below, people talk about something, and that is the weekly conversation. And the weekly conversation is a question I pose to really get that conversation started. And the weekly conversation this week is what makes you smile.
Okay. What makes me smile? Simplicity with a strong message. And I'll give you an example. It happened to me 10 minutes before we got here. I had a little bit of time to kill before coming over. I picked up my phone. I noticed they were showing some of the ads for the Super Bowl coming up, and the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet, depending on when this airs. Budweiser has an ad that's coming out that's using a puppy and Clydesdale horses to show meaningful relationship. It honestly brought a tear to my eye. I'm sitting in the parking lot of a store with a tear coming down because they used a puppy, Clydesdales, the right song, a romantic ballad, to show real simply through animals how we should be treating each other as human beings. I love things like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest this week is my friend David Coleman, 14-time Speaker of the Year, only speaker to ever win Entertainer of the Year. David, thank you so much for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. It's a great show.
Thank you.
Kindness is when you do everything in your power to make sure other people have just a slightly better day.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed episode 6 of Everyday Differences. It was great to have David Coleman on, the Dating Doctor. If you want to check him out, it's thedatingdoctor.com. Links will be in the description. Now, I want to get your feedback on this week's weekly conversation as well, and it's what makes you smile. Pretty simple. Leave your responses in the comment section down below. Also, you may have noticed that during this episode, I was wearing the brand new Good Deeds Matter hoodie. I know, it's amazing. Go to honorgooddeeds.com and then click on the store tab to get your own. It's ridiculously soft. Like, you do not even understand. It's amazing. So honorgooddeeds.com and click on the store tab. Links to that will be in the description as well. Well, I hope you liked that episode of Everyday Differences. I know I had a great time shooting it. Of course, the same as every week, don't forget to follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Justin Bachman Speaker, Twitter and Instagram @JustinBachman3. Like and subscribe, and don't forget to get into the weekly conversation. Never forget to embrace your differences. I'll see you next week.